8 or 10 years ago, I was asked to be involved in a survey about education, and they asked me to list the 6 most important teachers in my life, and 3 of them came from Aurora College. And Dr. Ethel Tapper was a true genius. She was perhaps one of the few true geniuses I ever knew, and she was conversant in so many areas of education. She taught mathematics and made it sing for me, and I just loved math just because of Ethel Tapper. I don't remember having loved math in high school. She also taught me literature. Now that's a big stretch from mathematics, and yet she made literature sing for me also. And she was the person I could go to when I was taking physics and had a question. I could get a better answer from Ethel Tapper than I could from the physics professor. And she was just that marvelous a mind. Then there was a young man by the name of Dr. Clyde Hewitt, who had just finished his PhD at the University of Chicago. And I took 2 courses in world economic and political geography from Clyde Hewitt. And he made me really learn to love geography. And he made me understand why there is such a global conflict over developing superiority in natural resources, oil, minerals, and so forth, and how this all shapes our whole world economic pattern. But most importantly, for me, he taught me how to research, document, and write a good term paper. And I think that was a tremendous contribution to my education. The third teacher that I mentioned was Dr. Pat McFarland. His infectious enthusiasm for biology and botany and things of the world was just great, and it was an introduction to me of the living sciences, and I thank him very much for that. I thank all 3 of them because they certainly influenced my life a great deal. This was the love of my life, was Joyce Erickson. And everything I am today I owe to her. As I said, Joyce Erickson, the class of 43 at Aurora, and I were married, and so we had a close feeling to Aurora College that carried throughout our lives. I feel very fortunate that I have 3 very successful children, 7 marvelous grandchildren who have done very well, and I think that much of it comes from the background that their parents received from primarily Joyce and whatever rubbed off from me. And I feel that Aurora was a tremendous influence in many respects in the way in which we lived our lives. I have seen a tremendous evolution of education in Aurora, as you well know. When we first started there in 1940, I can't remember the student body, but it was less than 500. And it has now grown into a sizable university with multiple fields of education available to people. And I am tremendously interested in the success that they have had, particularly in their School of Education and the School of Nursing. I'm impressed with the STEM program at Aurora. I'm intrigued with the program in that they have developed a system whereby they realize its importance in the education of elementary school children, and their emphasis right now, I think, is on training teachers to teach science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And I think that's the way to go. And then if they can get a real program going in their School of Education, it will be marvelous.